November 6, 2020, it began like a dream. Turquoise seas, endless sun, and champagne breakfasts. A couple celebrating their anniversary aboard the Oasis of the seas expected nothing more than a week of luxury in the Caribbean. But in the early hours of Friday, that dream took a fatal turn. At precisely 1 a.m., the massive cruise liner jolted to a stop in the middle of the ocean. Then, without explanation, it began to circle slowly. Most passengers were asleep, but as dawn broke, rumors flooded the decks. Someone had gone overboard. Whispers turned to gasps when footage surfaced of a man climbing over his balcony and stepping onto the roof of a lifeboat after an argument.
Touch me! You're about to see a terrifying moment, and we should warn you, it may be tough to watch. A man is clinging to a lifeboat on board a cruise ship as horrified passengers try to keep him from dropping into the sea. But this man doesn't seem to want any help. He wants the people trying to save him to leave him alone. You don't touch me! Let them in! It happens.
Moments later, he vanished. The panic was caught on camera. Shouts echoed as security scrambled, too late to prevent the fall. A voice from the crowd can be heard yelling, "Throw it over!" urging someone to toss a lifebuoy. But by then, the sea had already swallowed him. Search efforts continued for hours, yet no trace of Bernardo Elbaz was ever found. The cruise line labeled it a suicide. But Elbaz's family strongly disagreed. Through their lawyer, they claimed he had faced relentless homophobic harassment from the crew and that the situation escalated on the night he disappeared.
Into the ocean. We spoke to fellow passenger Rob M. Heiser.
You always hear about these things or you see them on the news, but to actually be there and watch when they have to jump into action, it's pretty amazing.
It's not known if the Oasis of the Seas is equipped with an infrared night vision camera like this one. Our Megan Alexander demonstrated how it works.
Turn off the light. Pitch black.
In the dark, you can't see her at all. But when the special camera is turned on, you can clearly spot her, even at a distance. The U.S. Coast Guard is certain.
Royal Caribbean denied wrongdoing. Investigators concluded he jumped. Still, his family pressed forward, insisting Bernardo had been pushed, if not physically, then emotionally, to his breaking point. Years later, one chilling comment beneath the video still echoes online. He committed suicide, not really sure why his family was trying to sue. Whether that's truth or denial depends on where you stand, but what's undeniable is this: Bernardo boarded that ship in love. He never came back. And somewhere out there, drifting beneath the waves, is the part of this story that no one was able to rescue. June 8th, 2023. What should have been an ordinary vacation day turned into one of the most horrifying beachside tragedies ever caught on camera. In the resort town of Hiratada, Egypt, 23-year-old Vladimir Popov was enjoying the sun at Dream Beach, a place well known for being tourist-friendly and safe. He was with his father Yuri, who sat shaded beneath a beach umbrella, casually ordering lunch. Neither of them could have imagined what was about to unfold. Around midday, Vladimir walked to the water's edge and dove in, smiling, waving at his father as he drifted further out. The sea was calm. There were no warnings, no red flags, just clear water and a perfect summer day. Then, chaos. Captured on a nearby camera, the footage begins with faint splashes, then screaming, shrieks so raw, so guttural, they jolt viewers into disbelief. A tiger shark had appeared from nowhere, circling, striking, and dragging Vladimir beneath the waves in front of a beach full of stunned onlookers. His father could only watch, frozen in horror. The shark was later caught and examined. Authorities discovered it had deformities, its dorsal fin twisted, tail malformed, likely impairing its ability to hunt in deeper waters. Driven by desperation, it had come closer to shore, closer to where Vladimir was swimming. His death wasn't just tragic, it was haunting. A stark reminder that the ocean, no matter how inviting, always hides shadows. There were no second chances that day, only silence ripples, and a father left to replay the last moments of his son's life again and again.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Ah! Oh my God! What is this? Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
One viewer later wrote, "My heart raced to see this. I can't imagine how the father felt, seeing his son get eaten, while he stood helplessly watching." Another added, "If you can't see the bottom of the ocean, say no to swimming." And as the video ends, we're left with that same sickening feeling of being too late, too far, and too powerless to change anything.
October 15th. It started like any other scenic ride. Crisp air, winding mountain roads, and two friends on motorcycles chasing the horizon. Kevin Diepenbrock, 41, and Philip Pleto, 29, were riding near mile marker 4, a notorious stretch lined with razor-sharp turns and heart-dropping cliffs. Philip was ahead when he suddenly hit the brakes. Kevin, just seconds behind, didn't have time to react. Their bikes collided, and in an instant, both men were airborne, launched off the road and into the forested abyss below. Philip crashed first, falling 50 feet and dying on impact. Kevin was flung even farther, over 100 feet, into a ravine choked with trees. His body was shattered, 12 ribs broken, lungs punctured, spine fractured. And yet, he lived.
Hey everybody. That's all I can really say. About 10:30 this morning. Been laying here ever since. About 50 feet down in the ravine. Just want to say I love you guys. Sorry it's being stupid, but you know that's what I do. Mom, Dad, love you. Courtney, love you. Kurt and Marnie, Karen, Matt, love you guys. Take care. I think I got a broke sternum, ribs, maybe back.
But survival came with silence. For the next 30 hours, Kevin lay trapped beneath the foliage. His phone barely worked, his voice strained, and his body broken. But he recorded. He spoke to his family, his friends, even his dogs. "I love you guys. Take care of the puppies for me. Kimber, Ruger, Rocco, Notch, Tango. Sorry, I was being stupid, but you know, that's what I do." They're like 50 feet away. I can hear them, but no one sees me.
I love you guys. Take care of the puppies for me too. Give Kimber and Ruger lots of love for me. And Rocco, Notch, and Kimber. Rocco, Notch, and Tango. I miss you guys. See you soon. Hey, 7 o'clock. Trying to use my flashlight to wave somebody down. I think I moved. I think I tried getting up. I think I passed out.
Above him, the world went on. Motorcycles zipped past, close enough to hear, but no one knew he was there. 1% battery, 1% hope. Then finally, someone heard him. A group of riders stopped, Rescuers were called. The operation was grueling, but they reached him. And when they did, Kevin's first words were simple. "What about my friend?"
Drink of water. They're just like 50 feet away. All right. Love you. Love you, Courtney. Love you, Mom, Dad. Hey, yeah. Take care. Hey.
He was airlifted out in critical condition, and somehow, despite the odds, he survived. Kevin later said, "Never forget to tell people you love them. You never say it enough." He's right, because life isn't guaranteed, and sometimes all it takes is one curve in the road for everything to change forever.
Hadn't made it.
Never forget to tell people you love them. That's all I could think about when I was down there was that, you never say that enough. You never spend enough time with your parents. You never spend enough time with people that are close to you.
September 16th, 2011, what began as a thrilling day in Nevada's desert skies turned into one of the deadliest aviation disasters ever caught on camera. The Reno air races, famous for pushing the limits of speed and engineering, were underway. In the spotlight was the Galloping Ghost, a heavily modified P-51 Mustang from World War II, piloted by veteran stuntman Jimmy Leeward. Years of tinkering had transformed this aircraft into a speed machine. Its wings had been clipped, its cooling system reworked, its structure altered for peak performance, but at a cost. Unaware to the spectators, and perhaps even Leeward himself, the modifications came with deadly consequences. Safety checks had been skipped. Components hadn't been replaced in decades. One particular part, a trim tab, a small control surface that stabilizes the plane, hadn't seen maintenance since 1985. At 4:20 p.m., while traveling at over 500 miles per hour, disaster struck. Turbulence from another plane shook the Galloping Ghost, and the fragile left trim tab sheared off. In an instant, the aircraft pitched violently upward with 17 times the force of gravity, enough to knock Leeward unconscious. The crowd could only watch in stunned horror as the plane twisted, flipped, and nosedived directly into the VIP section.
Please stay where you are. We have emergency crews. Please stay where you are, folks. Please stay where you are. We've got emergency crews. We'll be on 6. Please stay where you are. Hold your position. Oh.
The impact was catastrophic. 11 people were killed, including Leeward, and nearly 70 others were injured. Bodies, debris, and twisted metal littered the runway. Silence fell over the airfield. For one spectator who caught it on camera, the most haunting moment wasn't the crash, it was the pilot's final words, echoing through the cockpit, knowing what was coming.
But we're coming around to complete the third lap of the 6-minute run.
Whoa! Pull out!
The investigation revealed a web of negligence, unauthorized changes, ignored inspections, and a racing culture that had gambled with safety for too long. The crash forced the industry to finally act. Rules were rewritten, locations were moved, barriers were reinforced. But for those who were there, and those who watched the footage later, the horror is unforgettable. Because when speed becomes more important than safety, tragedy doesn't just happen, it's engineered. January 18th, 1991. The alpine slopes of Wengen, Switzerland, stood gleaming under a sharp winter sun. Among the elite competitors preparing for the legendary Laberhorn downhill race was 20-year-old Gernot Reinstadler, a rising star of Austria's national ski team.
Known for his daring speed and fearless technique, he was viewed as the future of competitive skiing. That day, the course was as brutal as it was iconic. Slick, icy, and wildly unpredictable. The kind of terrain that demanded respect and precision. But Reinstadler wasn't intimidated. As he tore down the mountain at blistering speed, he approached the infamous Finish S, a tight, twisting section that had claimed many before. Then, in a split second, everything changed. One of his skis clipped the edge of the safety netting lining the course. The net snagged and held. His body didn't. Reinstadler was thrown sideways with violent force, twisting midair before slamming into the ground. The impact was horrifying, and it was all captured on camera. His injuries were immediate and catastrophic. A shattered pelvis, severe internal bleeding. Emergency crews reached him in seconds, rushing him to a nearby hospital. But despite hours of surgery and desperate efforts, Gernot Reinstadler passed away overnight. He was just 20. The footage devastated the skiing world. Fans watched in disbelief, teammates were gutted, and one comment from a viewer captured the collective grief. This is the worst alpine accident ever caught on camera. The worst. In the aftermath, the sport faced a reckoning. Race organizers overhauled safety measures. Courses were redesigned, netting systems upgraded. Reinstadler's tragic death forced the industry to slow down and reflect. Though his career ended on that icy slope, his legacy continues. He died chasing greatness, but in doing so, he made the path safer for every skier who came after him. July 2019. In the still waters of Foster Falls State Park, Tennessee, YouTuber Rich Aloha dove beneath the surface, expecting nothing more than murky rocks and sunken debris. But buried in the muddy lake bed, near the base of a waterfall, he found something unexpected. A lost GoPro.
And I'm actually in Tennessee to do some treasure hunting. Might be finding a drone or an iPhone, maybe a GoPro, and if I'm really lucky, might even find some cash. So stay tuned, because this epic adventure starts right now.
Got my hiking buddy, Crancy.
Yo, what's up?
Oh yeah.
Alright, and just like that, after a quick but treacherous trek, we've made it down to the waterfall, so I'm ready to hop in, because I'm hot and sweaty, because this bad boy is heavy.
The camera had clearly been underwater for a long time, but what stunned Rich wasn't just finding it. It was what he discovered when he checked the SD card. Against all odds, it still worked, and on it were the final living moments of Richard Ragland, a 22-year-old who had drowned at that very spot 2 years earlier, just days before his 23rd birthday.
Wow, that was such an epic.
The footage showed Richard laughing, swimming, and enjoying a carefree day with friends. It was the kind of joy that no one could have imagined would be followed by tragedy. Richard never resurfaced that day. His death was sudden, heartbreaking, and up until now, largely without closure. Rich, a treasure diver with a passion for helping others, felt a responsibility. He didn't know who the man in the video was at first, but park rangers had mentioned a drowning from years before. He began researching online, piecing together what he could. Eventually, he found Richard's parents, Robin and Gary McCreary.
Adventure, oh my goodness, like, this waterfall was such a hit. So glad I came here. I can't believe I found 2 GoPros. I mean, we'll review the footage and see if I can't get that back to the rightful owner, but this is definitely one for the book. Thanks so much for tuning in. That's all for today's adventure. We'll see you on the next one.
When they met, emotions ran high. The McCrearys never received the original footage of their son. A thumb drive sent by rangers had mysteriously disappeared. Until now, they had nothing. No goodbye, no glimpse of his final moments. But here, thanks to a stranger and a chance dive, they got something they never thought possible: closure. Robin later said the gesture meant the world. Sometimes the most haunting videos aren't the ones filled with horror or chaos. Sometimes they're simply the ones who show what was lost: smiles, laughter, and the life of someone who should have had so much more time. One viewer echoed the sentiment online. "Thank you for finding his parents. I knew that man. Bless you."